Heather Dawson with Coast to Coast, and we are here at the Thermal Club in Thermal, California for the NTT IndyCar Series $1 million Challenge, and it feels more like a resort than a racetrack. Here's J.R. Ibarra.
It's a desert playground that is now becoming a focal point for IndyCar racing. The Thermal Club, located in the Coachella Valley of Southern California, has hosted one of the more unique racing events in the history of the NTT IndyCar Series. Billed as the Thermal Club $1 million Challenge, this non-championship points event is all about big money and bragging rights here in this early part of the racing season.
Racing for $1 million is always exciting. It's a lovely, beautiful facility that we had. We came here last year for testing, and we had a positive couple of days of tests. So that idea of having a non-championship race here, trying to race for a good amount of money and have some fun in a beautiful part of the US.
It's certainly a unique element, and I like the way that they've labelled it the $1 million race. It's quite cool and entertaining, I think. As a race fan myself, obviously, I would certainly tune into that. And there's obviously going to be an element of, I wouldn't say desperation, but no one really cares about, there's no championship points on offer, so that you can sort of take out of the equation and just drive with a free mind, which is quite unique.
The Thermal Club is a unique venue in itself, as the track is essentially a private country club for motorsports enthusiasts who want to not only enjoy watching racing events, but also getting a chance to do some time behind the wheel. It's also the home for the BMW Performance Driving School. So with this combination of a unique motoring venue combined with a high-profile racing series, it creates a recipe for adding some more world-class entertainment to the Coachella Valley.
Yeah, I mean, if I had one regret, it's that I don't have a facility here to come out and enjoy as well. But this is, as I said, I've been to a lot of these sorts of tracks because of my business, but also just personal passion of outside of IndyCar racing, doing track days and getting out there with the enthusiasts and having fun, which is a growing, I would say quickly and vastly growing industry. This is the creme de la creme. You're just not going to get any better than the Thermal Club. So it's a great place to come to.
It's a world-class facility. I mean, tell me which other track have you been to that you look around and it's like, is that a villa? There's a lot of them that are overlooking the track, and I haven't seen that any other track. You can practically live here if you wanted to. And guys can have, the 10, 15, 20 car garages and bring out their car whenever they want and just lap around, So it's a very different facility, and I believe a business model, I would say, compared to other traditional racetracks.
The race was run in a unique format where preliminaries were used to determine a final 12 racers to enter into the big money race. And in the end, it was Alex Palou to come away with a big trophy and a very big check. Overall, the success of this inaugural race lays down another must-see event in the growing influence of the Coachella Valley. From the Thermal Club in Thermal, California, this is J.R. Ibarra for Coast to Coast. It's a mobile car show that also happens to be an auction. The Mecum Auctions has once again brought its traveling experience to the desert in Glendale, Arizona for its annual auction of muscle and collector cars. Nearly 2,000 vehicles hit the auction block with a great mix of cars, trucks, and cycles. And if you were looking for something unique, you were bound to find it here with Mecum.
But we're more than an auction, right? We're an experience. We're a car show. We're the biggest car show in the world that travels around to 15 locations a year. So maybe you're not in the market to buy now. It's still cool to come check out the cars and also talk to some of the owners. The history and the provenance behind some of these vehicles is absolutely amazing.
This 5-day extravaganza brings out one of the widest variety of cars and trucks that you'll find for a muscle and collector car auction. And there's no doubt that even within this mixed lineup, there are some cars that just really catch the eye and have a unique history to tell from its past. Retired GM engineer Tony Brisky had one such of an example with his beautiful recreation of a famous GM prototype from the 1960s.
The Serve 1, which is what we're looking at here, that's the Chevrolet Engineering Research Vehicle #1, was built. This chassis there, it's got this V8 in the back. I mean, this is really cool. It's just like my go-kart, only bigger. What could go wrong? So push comes to shove. I went to GM. I became a GM engineer for a while. I kept in the back of my mind that I wanted to make this car. Well, it winds up I was able to do that. I had a complete engineering prototype studio, and I reverse engineered the Serve 1. This was a dream. This is my dream. I fulfilled my dream. Not only that, I got to mess with it, to drive it for 5 years. Okay, it's time for another dream, a new dream. So that's what we're going for.
Mecum's traveling auction will also hit other hotspots around the country, with cities that include Houston, Indianapolis, and Las Vegas, just to name a few. So if having a love for all things wheels is part of your passion, then it's worth your while to take in a Mecum auction somewhere around the country.
You know, as a collector car and muscle car auction, what we want to do is foster the love for automobiles just as we have, right? So again, it's not just an auction, it's just have an appreciation of the fine vehicles that we have here and follow them along on their journey. Some might go to museums, so some you might see driving on the highway next to you. It's really just to foster the love for the automotive community.
So deserts are known for having an oasis, and this is a big oasis for the collector car enthusiast. From the Mecum auction here in Glendale, Arizona, this is J.R. Ibarra for Coast to Coast.
And coming up next here on Coast to Coast, we head to Carmel, California, where you can find some of the most luxurious masterpieces, McLaren and Ferrari.
Blue chip is a term reserved for the best of the best. Whether the topic is real estate, stocks, or in this case, collector car automobiles, everyone desires a blue chip. If you'd like to see firsthand qualities of a blue chip collector car, then you won't want to miss this episode of the Speed Journal. We're at Bonhams Quail Lodge Auction in beautiful Carmel, California. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Michael Caimano. Michael, how are you?
Great, how are you?
All right, great, nice to see you.
Thanks for coming by.
You're with Bonhams Auction,
sir.
and you're going to present a beautiful McLaren F1 to us.
I am graced with the opportunity to do so.
Yes.
It's a 1995 McLaren F1. It's being presented by the original owner. He flew over to the UK and took factory delivery of the car, at which point he went on a tour of Europe, which accounts for almost half of the mileage that's on the car today.
Interesting.
Yeah, he describes it as the trip of a lifetime, as you can imagine. Today the car has just over 9,000 miles on it. Again, half of those were within the first few weeks there. And since then it's been kept on the East Coast and religiously maintained at McLaren. We have all of the service history for the car.
Now you had an opportunity to actually drive this car at Lime Rock?
We did. So part of the promotion of the car, we took it down to Lime Rock and created a video just because something so special and unique such as this car, most people don't get to see it in action. You just see static photos of it most of the time in a studio somewhere.
Right.
So we thought it would be a great opportunity to let the car do what it's supposed to and bring it out to the track and get some good audio and visual experience with it. So when the car came out, it was the fastest naturally aspirated car to ever be produced. It would do 240 miles an hour. And what's interesting is even today, all these years later, it still holds the record as the fastest naturally aspirated car. Nothing has surpassed it. And from the makes of new cars today with all the turbocharging technology, doesn't seem like any car will go in that direction again. So probably a title that this will hold on to. Everything is about weight, aerodynamics, and power. It holds true to the ultimate driving machine.
Are there any rumors as far as value or what a car like this might sell for?
So You know, it's very difficult to put a value on a car such as this. A McLaren F1 with this pedigree and history has never publicly been offered before. So it's difficult to say, but we certainly hope and expect it to exceed the previous record of 13,750 for sure.
I'm sure you'll be on pins and needles when that's on the blog.
It will be very exciting. You know, it's not often that we get to offer, or that the market has the opportunity to purchase a car with this kind of history and provenance and collectability. It's what a lot of people consider a blue chip car. It kind of checks off all the right boxes.
I'd like to introduce you to Rupert Banner. Rupert, how are you?
Very well, nice to see you.
Thank you, you too. Rupert's with Bonhams Auction, and he's going to describe to us this beautiful Maserati 300S.
I certainly will. So what we have here is a 1956 Maserati 300S. It's contemporaneous with the Grand Prix cars, which Maserati were so well known for, and were winning the World Championship in those days. This is a sports racing car from the same stable. Maserati in those days was all about racing, and this is one of the definitive cars of its era. You've got the six-cylinder motor. They were just well known for the ability to campaign all of the sports car races. They did everything in the days as well. They did circuit racing, they did the long distance tours, the Mille Miglia, etc. And so for that reason, you've got a car that, because it was great in its day, it means you can do an awful lot with it today.
Tell us about its history, the important drivers it's had.
Well, it's, I mean, I think if you think of Maserati and if you think of drivers in that era, I mean, this is a fabulous combination. This is actually a Fangio car. Manuel Fangio, who was just to many the greatest. You know, when you hear other drivers who were contemporaries of him, who you think were luminaries, say like Sir Stirling Moss, to say that Fangio was the best, I think that puts it into its own context. It says that it's probably true that he was the greatest. In truth, if you take any serious sports car racing, sports car from that racing era, you're looking at numbers in that territory and upwards. Obviously, if you're talking about Le Mans winning Ferraris and stuff, you're adding multiples to that. But it represents, I think, pretty good value for what you can do, and for its importance, and for the name association as well.
It checks off many boxes, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Rupert. We thank you so much for your time. Great description of this car. Wish you the best of luck when this goes over the block.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rupert. I expect there will be more than a few new delighted owners as these collectibles change hands this weekend. We'd like to thank Bonhams and their team of specialists for showcasing these fascinating cars, and we'd like to thank you for joining the Speed Journal.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Thurston, and I'm here with Simon Napier-Bell. Simon Napier-Bell is a music manager, author, and filmmaker. His songwriting in the 1960s led to a #1 hit for Dusty Springfield and then for Elvis. He's written 4 best-selling books, directed 4 major documentaries, including the brand new George Michael Portrait of an Artist. Thank you so much, Simon, for coming on and talking to us today.
My pleasure, absolutely.
So you were Wham's music manager during a really important time for them when they were trying to get out of a really intense contract. I'd love to hear just some either funny stories or just something that you experienced working with Wham, especially George Michael.
Well, I mean, it was all fun. Well, it's the thing about management, it can be fun and oppressive and difficult, but afterwards it's fun looking back on it. They came to me just after they'd started. They'd had 1 hit and they were fantastic. I'd never seen any group debut on Top of the Pops as good as that. And I had a partner at the time and we both said, let's try and get that group. So we found out how to contact them, we called them. And then when they came in my flat, they were the complete opposite. George and Andrew were different people, totally different people. That was an image for live. And George was cautious and wanted to know things and wasn't going to jump in the deep end of anything. And Andrew was cool and didn't really care about anything.
They were really just such a dynamic duo, and it definitely shows how much time and effort you put in, trying to break their contract because you knew they were going to be worth it. And
they had a terrible contract when they came to us. They had this awful contract with a little round the corner, local record company, and it paid them no royalties on 12-inch singles. Now, this was the period in history when 12-inch singles were what every single group sold. They extended the single track to about 6 minutes. They made it into a dance version. They put it out on colored vinyl, so a 12-inch single would be on blue or red or green vinyl. And that's what sold. They sold 12, 15 million 12-inch singles, and the contract said no royalties on 12-inch singles.
Wow.
So they had no money set.
In the documentary too, I think it's really showing how much work ethic George Michael had, and he had this very bubbly, bright personality, but his songwriting was something that I was super, super surprised by. I had no idea that he was the songwriter that he
Well, I think he surprised everybody after Wham.
Yeah.
Because he went on and on and on producing fantastic songs.
Yeah.
And always with really clever, thoughtful lyrics. He very applied himself greatly to writing songs. They didn't just fall out of his head. I mean, one or two did, but mostly he sat down and he worked and threw out bad lyrics and put in good lyrics. He was a songwriter, an artist, a performing artist, brilliant on stage. But I think he actually looked at his whole life as a piece of art, as a rise and a fall and a story to be told. And that's what I wanted to do in the film. To tell his story in the same way you tell a story of Van Gogh or Rachmaninoff or any other real artist.
Is there anything in the future that we should look forward to?
Got a book out, which I wrote then. It was about managing Wham and taking him to China and everything. And that's just come out this week in America. It was published in England 5 years ago. It's just been published this week in America. And it's a great detail about Wham and George and everything which went on. And that's called I'm Coming to Take You to Lunch. Okay. And that's everywhere now, Amazon or Barnes & Noble and everything. And so if you build more on George and want to learn more, the book will tell you more as well.
That's amazing, yes. More information about the amazing George is always welcome. So thank you so much for joining us today. And yes, I hope everyone enjoys the documentary as much as I did.
I'm sure they will.
Welcome back to Coast, I'm Lisa Spalla, and spring is the perfect time to spruce up your home decor, and to help us is the fabulous TV host and interior designer, Lauren Mack. Lauren is the host of HGTV's Urban Oasis giveaway special, and you may also recognize her from Homemade Simple on the Oprah Winfrey Network and TLC's Trading Spaces. You're a busy woman. Hi, Lauren.
Honey, I am working to the bone.
Why does it help to be organized? I mean, I think that's key, right?
Absolutely. Organization is key, but why not make it creative and fun, right? And I want to enter you and usher you into your organization era with the Cricut Joy Extra. You can make personalized labels, decals, signs, and so much more with this sleek cutting machine that fits into any space. From my food containers to my kids' playroom boxes, the possibilities really are endless, and you can start organizing your space with the Cricut Joy Extra today. Now, the cool part is that you can upload your own designs, or you can choose from over 1 million images and licensed designs from the Cricut Design Space library, which is so easy to learn. I am so obsessed with this Cricut Joy Extra and all the ways that it has already helped me level up my spring cleaning sessions. We often forget this one important place, the washing machine, right? And I love using a fresh washing machine cleaner. It's trusted by appliance experts and helps effectively remove grime and odor-causing residue that inevitably builds up over time. It's also EPA Safer Choice certified and works with both top and front load washers, including the high efficiency models too. It's so easy to use. All you gotta do is pop 1 tablet a month into your washing machine, set it and forget it, and it deep cleans inside the pumps and the valves, the tub, the drum, all those little filters and hoses and stuff to keep your appliance running efficiently. We need a break, okay? And right now, spring is the perfect time to dust off your bucket list and get away. So whether it's an all-inclusive beachfront resort or a boutique hotel in the heart of the city, I am a huge fan of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. They've got around 9,300 hotels worldwide, and with brands like Wyndham Ultra, Wyndham Grand, and the Registry Collection, there's a Wyndham Hotel for everyone. And right now, their award-winning Wyndham Rewards loyalty program is celebrating Member Month. You can earn up to 2 nights free, and all you have to do is check out wyndhamrewards.com/membermonth for all those details.
Amazing tips. I love it all. Where can we get more information?
Certainly, just go to tipsontv.com.
We love it. On Coast to Coast, I'm Lisa Spalla. Thank you.
That's it for us. Don't forget to follow us on coasttocoast.tv. I'm your host, Heather Dawson from beautiful Thermal, California. We'll see you next time.